Okay, they give us a linear function, x plus 1, here it is, and it continues this way if it needs to. And find the area under this function from 1 up to, they're not saying where the right edge is. You can't really call this a definite integral because we don't have numbers for the left and right boundaries, so we can say this is the integral from 1 up to x of, I was going to write f of x here, but we know it's x plus 1, so why not get that in there? This is the integral of x plus 1 dx. So we're starting at 1, and we're going up to some unspecified x number that is our right edge. We could do the trapezoid area thing, I suppose, if you wanted to avoid using calculus, but for the first time, I'm going to not do that because the calculus is what we're really trying to practice here. Create a general formula. Okay, well, the antiderivative of x plus 1 is 1 half x squared plus x plus a c, which I'm not going to write because this is an area. And we have to evaluate that from 1 to x. So this first part says everywhere there's an x in this expression, replace it with x, which is silly. 1 half x squared plus x minus, and this says everywhere there's an x in this expression, replace it with 1. 1 half times 1 squared plus 1, and now we clean up. 1 half x squared plus x minus 1 half, and minus 1. So we get 1 half x squared plus x minus 3 over 2. And that should be our area. Now, all of it is positive, so we don't have to worry about any negative signs coming out of here. Find the signed area under the function on the interval 1x, done. Create a general formula. This is it, the area, or, you know what, instead of area, I'm just going to say the integral because that's what it means. The integral of f of x dx from 1 to x equals this. Compare this with the original function, they say. Well, it's the antiderivative. I don't know if they expected us to do this geometrically and then notice that this is the antiderivative or what, but the relationship between these is that this area is the antiderivative of the original function. And now, finally at the end, they go definite on us. They say, okay, that x for the right edge, we're now telling you it's 4. Go get the area. So if x is 4, then the area would have to be 1 half of 4 squared plus 4 minus 3 over 2. What is that? 4 squared is 16, half that is 8, plus 4 minus 3 over 2. 8 plus 4 is 12, minus 1.5 is 10.5. So you can either say 10.5 or the fractional version would be 21 over 2, I guess. I'll take the decimal if it's up to me.